Welcome to Charts Today. My name is David Linton, and today's edition for Monday the 12th of July comes to you from London. And we start by looking at the dollar index. Here I've got my weekly, my daily and my 60-minute cloud charts. Above the cloud is bullish, below the cloud is bearish, and the corresponding point and figure chart. So this is my long-term, medium-term and short-term view of the market. Long-term is months, medium-term is weeks, and short-term is days, what we're looking at this week really. So the dollar is falling back on the short-term chart, and really on the longer-term chart we're waiting for this higher high to kick in. So for the moment the dollar is treading water this last week, and we see that sideways move on the 60-minute chart. The euro is therefore just looking a little bit better against the dollar, having bounced, but we have activated this downside target some 2.5% lower as well. On the longer term chart we've got a mixed picture. We're still bullish above the cloud, but we are seeing the medium term chart having deteriorated. Against the yen, the dollar yen tends to be a little bit of a lead indicator for the dollar. We have seen that move to a 12-month high, which was significant. We're holding the trend there, but shorter term we have seen that dollar falling away as well. We do have a downside target, but not yet activated, so we'll watch that through the week. Sterling sitting at 138.72, improved slightly against the dollar over the last 24 hours. On Friday that really started, and we're hitting that 139 level, so 138.70 is key there. And against the euro, sterling is holding its strength at around the 117 level, bullish on all three time frames at the moment. Bitcoin is sitting at $34,000, just holding these low 30s level for the moment, but short term still looking bullish above the cloud. No clarity on the short-term targets, and of course the key thing we're watching is this long-term target to $107,000, which would be deactivated below $30,000. The S&P 500 index was up on Friday, having had a bit of a wobble in the week, but still looking pretty strong. The Nasdaq also still bullish on all three time frames. The futures this morning, we're seeing the S&P future down 1/3%, and the Nasdaq E-mini down not by quite as much. So it does look like the markets will open slightly lower in the US today. The VIX volatility is up. We were above 20 on Friday, but we've pulled back on Thursday, Friday we've pulled back, and still the VIX is looking long-term historically low, so the fear index is indicated there's not much to worry about. The FTSE future is down 2/3% this morning. The DAX in Germany is down 1/3%, and the CAC Quarante is down nearly 3/4%. Asia looks better. We saw Japan up 2%. The Hang Seng up 0.5%, although we have been sinking lower there. The Shanghai Composite continues to look better there as well. We're still holding that bullish long-term trend there. The Indian market was down very slightly, and the Aussie market was up just under 1%, but really has been treading water the last few weeks. We'll take a look at the energy mix in a minute. We're falling lower again this morning there. Taking a look at gold, we're down at holding the 1800 level, just holding bullish on all three time frames. Silver sitting at $26, looking a little bit more bearish than gold on the short-term chart, still waiting for this big break of 30. Platinum is down 0.8%, down 0.6%. Palladium is down, but still having recovered that 10% fall that we saw a few weeks ago, looks still okay. US 10-year yields falling back this morning, but we did recover off that low of 1.25%. So interestingly, we've got this push back into the short-term bullish territory, but we need to hold that 125 level that we saw last week. Taking a look at the energy mix now, we've got Brent crude sitting down this morning. We're neutral this week on crude oil after last week's fallbacks. We're just really waiting for either a new higher high or a lower low. WTI, similar picture of course. US nat gas falling back, and just looking, this is the 1 minute chart. This is my daily and my 60-minute chart. My daily, my 60-minute and my 1 minute chart. So we're seeing here just a move lower as well. Coal is actually holding its own. It looked pretty good last week. $89 is the level that we're watching for a break. And we've got good upside targets, not yet activated. A new move higher would activate those. Emissions fell back heavily last week. We're still holding the long-term trend, finding support on the cloud, but we can't deny that we're below the cloud. We're neutral on emissions this week, as we look higher there, so that's quite key as well. And the UK emissions price falling back similarly. MBP's down 5% this morning, but gas prices looking still pretty strong. Long term, the chart's looking great, but we are seeing just a fallback. Will we make a lower high and then a lower low? That's what we do have to watch for. But for the moment, gas prices look more bullish than emissions and power prices. And we see here the TTF chart also looking stronger, although we're down significantly this morning. Taking a look at the seasonal price, we're down 3% here as well. A lot of volatility in the gas markets, but for the moment, holding better. German power is down 1.3% this morning, very similar pictures to the emissions chart, and we are just seeing here some resistance on the cloud, so again we're neutral here. The one standout is that Nordic power looking pretty strong, up 1.5% on the CAL and up 2.2% on the quarterly. There's a bullish standout for this week. That's it for today. Until tomorrow, happy charting. See you then.